I want to talk about some of the things that I have not covered in this course. The reason that I have not covered these things is various, but mostly because I don't think they're very important to users when they're first writing macros anyway. The first one I want to talk about is the with statements, and we talked a little bit about this in a previous video. And the macro recorder is very fond of using the with statement. I think the reason for this is because when you are recording a macro and you open a dialog box, one of the Excel dialog boxes, and you're changing some of the things in the dialog box, Excel actually isn't quite sure exactly which ones of those you've changed, so it kind of covers itself by detailing all of the items on that particular dialog box, and you get a great list of things being defined, and you were only really interested in changing one particular thing. And when you're writing your own macro, it's handcrafted. You're much more precise. You know exactly what you're changing. Normally you only need 2 lines, 1 line or 2 lines in order to change what you need to do, so there's no need for the with statement. By all means, go and have a look to see how it works, but I don't recall using it, maybe once or twice. Also, if you are looking at this series of videos and you are well versed in VBA, then you may well have objected to some of the terminology that I've used. There are certain things called objects, variables, methods and properties in VBA, and I know I haven't been very strict about the words that I've used there. If you read a book on Visual Basic, you'll see that they are a little more strict than I am about how they're used, but the truth is that you kind of get a feel for what sort of command or what sort of words that's being used in a VBA script, what it is, whether it's an object or a variable or a method or a property. So I don't really personally think about it too much when I'm writing or when I'm speaking in these videos. Also, a well-educated programmer will do things like defining variables and giving them dimensions at the beginning of the script, and I don't. I'm told that it makes the macro run faster. It also means that if you define a variable as being, for instance, one that can only hold numbers, it can help you avoid a bug later on if you try and put some text in it. But really, you know, I've written some pretty complicated macros and I've never come across that problem. I can remember what they're supposed to hold, so I never put the wrong thing in. But I know that the more precise people may be sort of saying I'm not really doing the right thing here, but I really don't mind. I also haven't told you about auto-run macros, and it's very possible that your boss would not be happy about me telling you about how to run an auto-run macro, because they're most dangerous sort. And in fact, although they can be quite fun, and it can be quite amusing to get something to run on someone else's machine automatically when they're not aware of it, really, for practical business purposes, I don't think they're very necessary. And because it's such such a minefield, I really don't want to talk about. Functions. So really, VBA for Excel has got two main purposes, which is one is to write macros which do things to spreadsheets, change them around, whatever. And the other thing is actually to define new functions. Define a function that doesn't come with Excel. You might think, well, crumbs. There's so many functions in Excel. Can there possibly be any that Excel doesn't provide? Well, it won't provide something which is special to your business. But the truth is that you can usually get away with it by building a spreadsheet in a particular way. One time I did see someone had written an excellent function for the Black-Scholes model, which was really, really, really terrific, and I found a use for that in some years ago now. So and Black-Scholes will not be in the list of functions that Excel gives you. And there was one other time when I did define a function, I think, but it really isn't very commonly needed. If you can crack the regular macros, you'll find functions fairly easy to get on top of anyway.